Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching episode 19 of my Mystery Monthly Minis. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to episode 19 of my Mystery Monthly Minis. If you've seen this before and you know it works, then you can just skip straight forward to the tasting. Otherwise, the way this works is I have over 150 samples in my sample collection, and my wife has kindly poured one into this blue Glencairn glass. I'll nose it, I'll taste it, I'll tell you if I like it, and I'll have a stab at what I think it is. Shall we find out what I'm drinking? On to the whiskey. If you'd like to play along with me and find out what's in my glass when I do, then just keep watching. Otherwise, take a look in the description now for a sneak peek. Atop of my glass is a Whisky dictionary coin from Bill at the Whisky Dictionary. If you haven't checked out his channel, then I'll put a link in the description below. It really is worth a watch. Right, let's start with the nose. Okay, so the first thing I get is quite sort of rich dark fruits, a little bit of alcohol vapour. Yeah, there's definitely like a fruitiness. Reminds me of something like port or red wine. The liquid is giving off like the smell of a really thick, reduced down, like syrupy, fortified wine. It really isn't like PX on the nose, but it's almost giving that sort of really thick, yeah, really intense sort of nose. Getting a hint of malted barley. There is almost like a diesel oil note in there. Obviously, I have got a number of Highlands and Campbelltowns that do give off that sort of vibe, as I have before with these sorts of reviews. So it's always difficult to guess. But this one isn't strong. It's just, there's just like a hint of it. I may be wrong though. Yeah, it's starting to get a bit like figs or prunes now. Really sort of like a intense dark fruits. A little bit of waxiness as well on the nose, which is quite interesting. Yeah, that sort of diesel oil note has started to disappear now. Let's move on to the palate. Okay, that is intense. Whew. Yeah, intense on the palate. It didn't nose like it was high ABV. It's even making my eyes water. Yeah, it didn't nose like high ABV. It was, I would have said it was definitely 40 to 46 on the nose, but on the palate, I don't know, maybe, seriously, it's punchy. I'd say 55 at least. Yeah, maybe even up to car strength. It really is punchy. Yeah. I'll have another sip and see if I can get some flavours. Yeah, so I'm getting lots of charred oak, and added to that is those rich dark fruits. It doesn't have that sort of syrupy vibe, that syrupy sort of wine-like vibe that I was picking up on the nose, but it does have a really rich, intense red wine slash sherry vibe. It was gives me the impression of something like masala wine, maybe something along those lines. But yeah, really rich and fruity, but I'm not getting much more. The intensity of the dram my palate's starting to get used to, so it's not overwhelming me with the ABV, but I think I need one more sip. There is like a tropical fruit, or maybe even potentially an orchard fruit vibe in the background. So the base spirit of this is obviously being covered up by the wine influence, but yeah, I think it's more likely a tropical sort of note from the underlying spirit. This could be from anywhere, but I'm more likely inclined to say Scotland because of my familiarity with that, and more likely the number of drams in my collection which come from Scotland. Where it comes from, obviously it could be anywhere. I'm less likely inclined to say islands or Islay, but yeah, maybe not lowlands either, because from the lowland distilleries I can think of and the potential drams I might have in my collection, it's not going to be there. So I would say probably Highland or Speyside. At least 55% ABV, and hopefully, hopefully a wine finish in there if I'm not mistaken. Should we find out what I'm drinking? Right, so it's a North Star Auchroisk 13-year-old. It's 51.2% ABV, and it was sent to me by Paul Gibbs. So thanks, Paul. You really do send me some smashers of drams. So obviously North Star is an independent bottling, and Auchroisk is a Diageo distillery from Speyside, if I'm not mistaken. I may not have had an Auchroisk before, and I'm pretty sure this isn't characteristic of Auchroisk from, what I know of them. So I'm hoping that this is a wine or sherry finished version of that spirit. Obviously the ABV I said was at least 55%, so I was a little bit off with that. Region I obviously got right. But it's always good to learn something. It's always good to get something wrong. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you've made it this far, then if you don't already, please subscribe. And if you like what you've seen, come back for more. Sauncha. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment? And please consider subscribing for more videos like this.